Rest in peace. I am the Archangel Azrael, the helper of the Elohim. I reside in the third heaven. I have been given a variety of names in different cultures. The Muslims call me Malik al-Mut. The ancient Egyptians knew me as Anubis. The Greeks called me the Anatos. The Hindus and Buddhists call me Yamaraja. In Latin America, I am known as La Santa Muerte. But in the Western world, you know me simply as the Grim Reaper, the Angel of Death. I am charged with the responsibility of removing the spirit and soul from the body at the time of death, and transporting it to the celestial realm, the underworld, to await judgment. Surely, the time will come, when all human beings will have their souls squeezed from their bodies when they are overcome by the Angel of Death. There are three kinds of death: mental death, spiritual death, and physical death. You can be resurrected from all the forms of death except for physical death. You would like to know the secret of death. But, how shall you find it, unless you seek it in the heart of life? The owl, whose night-bound eyes are blind unto the day, cannot unveil the mystery of light. If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide unto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. In the depth of your hopes and desires lie your silent knowledge of the beyond. And like seeds dreaming beneath the snow, your heart dreams of spring. Trust the dreams, for in them is the gate to eternity. Your fear of death is but the trembling of the shepherd when he stands before the king, whose hand is to be laid upon him in honor. Is the shepherd not joyful beneath his trembling, that he should wear the mindfulness of his trembling? For what is it to die but to stand naked in the wind and to melt into the sun? And what is to cease breathing, but to free the breath from its restless tides, that it may rise and expand and seek the source unencumbered? Only when you drink from the river of silence shall you indeed sing. And when you have reached the mountain top, then you shall begin to climb. When the earth shall reclaim your limbs, then shall you truly dance. Many people wonder what is it like to die, but you experience what it is like to die every night when you go to sleep. This is why they say sleep is the cousin of death. You also experience a small sensation of what it is like for your soul to leave your body whenever you orgasm. This is why they call it la petite mort, the little death, the brief loss or weakening of consciousness. You must understand, your soul was created 1,000 years before your body, in the sea of glory which is called abundance. Your soul was commanded to enter into your body and illuminate your yet lifeless form. But, your soul hesitated, for it was unwilling to enter into the flesh. Your soul viewed the body as a prison, and was unwilling to do a life sentence. But at the command of the Most High, your soul entered into your body, against its will, and as a punishment for the disobedience, your soul shall one day be separated from your body against your will. And the Most High spoke and said, now that the soul has entered into the body, when the time comes to depart from the body, this same soul will not want to leave. Thus, I am assigning my angel of death, Azrael, with the power and responsibility of removing the soul from the body. And, I, Azrael, the angel of death, stood by witnessing all of these things with tears in my eyes, weeping. I spoke saying, among you human beings, I will undoubtedly be the most hated angel of all. But the Most High said nay, the human beings will not hate me, because they will be so preoccupied with the pleasures of the world that they shall not even notice death. Human beings will be so engrossed in drugs and alcohol and wars and mischief and sickness and diseases, that many will be the cause of their own death. And the actions and deeds of human beings are not to be a cause of grief to me. As for the knowledge of the end of life, no one knows this, save the Most High. In the celestial realm of the Most High, there is a tree, the tree of life, which has leaves on which the name of every person ever born are written. When a leaf falls from the tree, the Most High reads off the name and commands me that the arrival of the person's time of death has come. I am brought a scroll, and if the scroll is wrapped with a ribbon of gold light around it, I know the soul of the person is amongst the righteous, and they will welcome the coming of death, and the soul will gently be removed from the body, as it is a welcome opportunity to return to their Creator and spend eternity in paradise. These are the faithful who worked to perfect their being and were advocates of patience. But, if the scroll is wrapped with a red ribbon around it, then I know the soul of the person is amongst the wretched and malevolent, and the soul will be snatched and ripped from the body. And they will be chastised in the grave by the angels Munkar and Nakir, the denied and the denier, who will ask them 3 questions: who is your sustainer? What is your way of life? And who is your news bearer? If these questions are answered correctly, you will be given a second chance to enter into the celestial realm of the Most High. But, if these questions are answered incorrectly, you will be chastised in your grave, by Munkar and Nakir, until the day of judgment. Thus, many wretched and malevolent human beings are attempting to come up with ways to discover a cure to death. And since the black seed cures everything except for old age and death, it is true that death is merely a sickness that can be cured. However, the cure for death is not permanent, it merely delays the inevitable, because everything in nature, including the sun, moon, stars, and the universe itself, will have to one day die. Thus, as the angel of death, I will be the last to die, as I must carry out my work until the end of time. I am where I am, and where I have started, is where I have ended my journey. Thus, as one journey ends, so begins another. This is the transformation called death. Rest in peace.